Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at 4.
Oh no, I'm following until I see a cop pull his over because he's got 2 kids in his car.
A man recognized for making the 911 call that cracked a kidnapping case. A closer look at how he's being honored by law enforcement.
Plus, what started out as an argument over loud music between neighbors ended in a deadly shooting.
No service, no people, empty bus stops like this one in Seminole County have to go. But how much could the county have to pay to get these out now that Scout is in?
But first, the countdown is on for a rare cold blast that could bring rain, wind, snow flurries, and dangerous wind chills.
Meteorologist Julie Broughton joins us now. And Julie, you have some things on maps that I have not seen since I've lived here in Central Florida.
Yeah, I think a lot of us haven't seen some of these things on maps in several years. In fact, in about 15, 16 years. We do have a rare extreme cold watch now posted for Saturday night into Sunday afternoon. And that means we're talking about the potential of wind chill readings in the single digits during that time. Here's a look at what we're expecting Sunday, 7 o'clock in the morning. It could feel like 11 in Ocala, 8 in Gainesville, 8 in Palm Coast, could be feeling like 13 Sunday morning in Kissimmee and 13 in Cocoa Beach. So we have that big cold blast that will really start to build in early in the day on Saturday. Now here's what's going on right now for us. We're actually in great shape. This is what it looks like from our Daytona Beach sky cam. A lot of sunshine. We've seen a few people out walking, enjoying the beach. 58 degrees right now with winds coming in out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour. 65 in Orlando. It is at 64 in Wildwood, so we are warmer than we were yesterday at this time. And when we're back here together tomorrow afternoon, most of us will be hovering close to the normal range, nearing 70 degrees. But again, that cold front moves through tomorrow night into early Saturday. That is when that cold blast begins to build in for us, and that means we're talking about dangerous cold for Saturday night into Sunday, and that will hang around into next week as well. We'll time all of that out, and Ginger mentioned some flurries as well, so we'll talk more about the potential of a few snowflakes flying out there Saturday afternoon into Sunday.
All right, Julie, thank you. Well, we know we are not necessarily used to this cold weather, so we put together a guide for you. It includes how to prepare your pets, plants, pipes, and pools. Just go to clickorlando.com/freeze guide. Seminole County bet on building up their own public transportation system over buses when they launched Scout. But what about all those empty bus stops where the Lynx service no longer stops?
Yeah, your Seminole County community correspondent, Catherine Silver, found out the county will likely have to pay to get rid of them. And Catherine, it's not going to be cheap.
Yeah, and I want to stress a lot that's on both sides, but we have seen a 6-figure number that was included in a letter from Lynx that was sent to Seminole County. Now, both Lynx and the county shared that letter with me today. In the meantime, work has already begun to remove bus stops just like this one. In fact, I want to show you some new video that we just shot this afternoon. Now, we've also been talking to Lynx today and asking them questions. A spokesperson explained that the county has known there would be costs associated with transitioning out of service and that this has been part of an ongoing conversation about exit costs that started back in 2024. That conversation is continuing now. I'm live in Seminole County. Catherine Silver, News 6.
All right, Catherine, thank you. The man accused of calling in a bomb threat against a Volusia County synagogue will stay in jail. Robert Tuck faced a judge earlier today. She gave him no bond. Police say he called the Temple Bel El on North Nova Road in Ormond Beach yesterday afternoon. Officers responded, blocked off the area, and put the Temple's elementary school on lockdown. Investigators say they never found anything dangerous. Police later tracked down Tuck at a home in Daytona Beach.
What started as a dispute between two neighbors ended with a man shot and killed. Now one man is behind bars, and as your Orange County community correspondent Jarrell Baker explains, neighbors are alarmed how far this dispute went.
Yeah, that's right, Ginger. That suspect just appeared at the Orange County courthouse. Now, investigators say they have surveillance video showing his actions walking up to the victim's door with a weapon. Now, there's several neighbors that we spoke to today who are just shocked and still trying to figure out and wrap their heads around how this could even happen in their neighborhood. Now, a bond has been set and the trial has been pushed to a later date. Here in Orange County, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
All right, Jarrell, thank you. In Flagler County, the sheriff is recognizing the 911 caller who helped them save a kidnapping victim from a registered sex offender.
Cody Clark's actions are in keeping with the highest traditions of law enforcement, and he's being presented with a life-saving award.
Investigators say the capture may not have happened if it weren't for this driver. On New Year's Eve, he recognized 60-year-old Darnell Hairston on the road. Deputies say Hairston had two boys, a 15-year-old and an 11-year-old, inside that truck with him. The younger boy told deputies he had been kidnapped, tied up, and drugged. The 911 caller said he was determined to see that Hairston was caught.
And how do you know this person?
He's our neighborhood child pedophile, and there's two missing kids that run away from out there.
You don't have to continue following.
Oh, no, I'm following until I see a cop pull his over, because he's got two kids in his car. Because if a cop don't pull him over, I'm going to pull him over, and it ain't going to be pretty.
Well, he was determined. While deputies were busy with Hairston during the traffic stop, the 15-year-old jumped back into the truck and led deputies on a chase, ramming a patrol car, then crashing. Hairston is now facing several charges, including kidnapping and aggravated child abuse. The 15-year-old is also facing battery on a law enforcement officer charges as well. Your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed is hearing from the man who made the phone call on News 6 at 5 o'clock. Now to environmental concerns on some of the rocket launches we're seeing here in Central Florida.
Yeah, the community fighting rocket wastewater in the Indian River Lagoon. That is coming up. Plus, you've likely heard of falling frozen iguanas in Florida when it gets cold. But what about cold stunned turtles? We'll have the warning from animal rescuers next.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Did you know you can pin it with News 6? Share your best moments with your community using our updated News 6 app. Stay connected by sharing everything from new places to explore to those beautiful Florida sunsets. You can pin it anytime. Just snap a picture or video, open the News 6 app, select menu, and pin it. You might even catch your pins live on News 6 or clickorlando.com. Search WKMG in your app store today.
I'm a little cold stunned too, I must admit.
I think most of Central Florida
We're all
is
in
cold
shock.
stunned. Yes, exactly. Meteorologist Julie Broughton joins us now to talk about this Arctic blast.
Yeah, it is on the way. So tomorrow is really going to be our warmest day of the week. It'll be near 70 degrees. So tomorrow will be a nice afternoon, but I think the weekend really will be miserable, and that will start pretty early for us on the day on Saturday. The Arctic blast Sunday and Monday morning, we will wake up in Orlando in the 20s. That means we could potentially even see some of our northern interior spots in the teens. And last time we saw consecutive days in the 20s at Orlando International Airport was back in 2010. So we are certainly talking about that colder weather headed our way as we head through the next several days. Now I'll go ahead and show you what we're talking about with the upper level setup. This is a look at the jet stream. So the jet stream separates the cold air to the north from the warm air to the south. And notice as we head into the weekend, that continues to dip farther to the south. So this bluer area represents temperatures colder than 32 degrees. So notice as we head through the day Saturday into Sunday, that will encompass all of Central Florida. So we are talking about a rare extreme cold watch in place Saturday at 7 o'clock through Sunday at 1 o'clock. And that means we are looking at single-digit wind chill readings Sunday for the first part of the day. These are our actual temperatures we'll wake up to Sunday morning. 21 in Ocala, Leesburg, you'll be at 23, 27 in Cocoa Beach, and 24 in Sanford. But when you factor in the winds, which I'm going to show you those in a minute because we're talking about strong winds, it will feel like 11 in the Villages, 10 in Leesburg, and feeling like 8 in Palm Coast. Now here's the setup. We'll go ahead and start you out on Friday, moving into Saturday. So here is our front. That will spark a few showers Friday evening. Rain chances around 20%. Then that front clears early on Saturday. We could start the day with some rain Saturday morning, but then that cold air and those strong winds begin to build in by Saturday afternoon. I want you to notice the modeling still picking up on some blue across our western counties. Yes, that is the potential of some snowflakes flying. The pink would be a wintry mix. And then as we head into 8 o'clock, still looking at a few flakes for our western counties. So not all of us will get to enjoy a snowflake or two, but perhaps across our western counties, it certainly is a possibility. Now we will all be dealing with winds. So look at Saturday, 6 o'clock. These are potential wind gusts. We're looking at wind gusts around 40 to 45 miles per hour. So we're going to be talking about extremely cold temperatures and again, those strong winds. Here's what it looks like for us right now. Daytona Beach. Oh, someone's doing some push-ups out there. I think push-ups or the worm. So that's exciting to see. 58 degrees right now. Just about all of us are in the 50s and 60s right now. 65 degrees if you are in Hullapaw. Now, here's your hour-by-hour forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Renewal by Anderson.
This is Louise. She likes her mom to heat her blankets in the dryer. 55 degrees at 7 o'clock, 53 degrees at 8 o'clock. So it's really going to be Louise's time to shine this weekend. 45 overnight tonight in Orlando. 7-day forecast bringing in those 20s Sunday and Monday morning.
Who doesn't like a warm blanket or towel, especially right now? Now to environmental concerns along the Space Coast.
A concerned community hoping to stop a rocket company's rocket wastewater from winding up in the Indian River Lagoon. I'll tell you where you can go to weigh in on the decision.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Light Orlando.
And we could see a launch late tonight.
Yeah, SpaceX plans to send another batch of Starlink internet satellites from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Right now, liftoff is set for 11:23. After the launch, the first stage booster will land on a drone ship in the Atlantic.
Meantime, NASA is getting ready for its next big mission, a crewed launch to the moon for the first time in decades. As we take a live look at the rocket on the pad at Kennedy Space Center, the agency is planning a wet dress rehearsal on the massive Space Launch System rocket this Saturday. That includes fueling it up and then doing a practice countdown to launch. NASA says if that test goes well, the mission to send astronauts around the moon and back may happen in the next few months.
Well, police are officially declaring an apartment complex a public nuisance because they keep seeing violent crime happening there.
Like they'll chase someone straight through the grass. You know what I mean? So I'm a lot of times scared to have my kids outside.
We're talking to the families who live there and what this all means for them. That's next.
Have electrical problems? Mr. Sparky has you covered. Visit MrSparkyFlorida.com.
Welcome back. We're following several top stories right now.
Links, benches, shelters, and pole signs are still found at the abandoned bus stops throughout Seminole County. County leaders and Links agree it should all be removed, but it's going to come at a cost. That Links estimates could be more than $600,000. Last year, Seminole County launched its own public transportation system known as Scout. It phased out some Links bus routes in favor of Scout earlier this month. In Volusia County, a man will be staying in jail after police say he made a bomb threat to a synagogue. Ormond Beach police say officers took Robert Tuck into custody yesterday. They say he called the Temple Bel El on North Nova Road in Ormond Beach, but nothing dangerous was ever found. Police later tracked down Tuck at a home in Daytona Beach. Today, a judge ordered Tuck to be held on no bond. In Orange County, a man accused of shooting and killing a neighbor over loud music will stay behind bars. It happened last Wednesday on Moselle Avenue near Old Cheney Highway and Cimarron Boulevard. Deputies arrested Michael Thrasher yesterday. Thrasher faces charges of first-degree murder and armed burglary of an occupied dwelling with battery. At his first appearance today, a judge ordered he be held on no bond.
A city is putting its foot down on a problem apartment complex. They say police have had to come out so many times, they are officially declaring it a public nuisance. We're talking about the Daytona Gardens apartments. That's on Jean Street off Nova Road in Daytona Beach. News 6's Troy Campbell went to the complex to see what the nuisance designation means for the people who live there. Troy also says he went to the leasing office but was told to come back to speak with the property manager. We'll keep you updated on when some of those improvements are made.
Governor Ron DeSantis is pushing the state's universities to pause hiring international faculty and staff members through the H-1B visa program. Today, that proposal is moving forward. The state university system's board of governors set up for a final approval of the proposed moratorium. The measure would direct each board of trustees to not use the H-1B program through January 2027.
The goal here is to collect information, focus, and get the information we need to then make reasonable policy decisions about the use of this program.
Critics are raising concerns, saying it could hinder Florida's standing educationally and financially.
I have concern that a moratorium on hiring world-leading experts at our institutions will harm our system, our state, and the taxpayers of Florida.
The visas, created in 1990, are intended to attract technically skilled people. They are good for 3 years, but can be extended an additional 3 years.
And with immigration enforcement being a heated debate across the country, we saw protest against a Central Florida congressman just before he held a town hall. And he is set to hold another one tonight.
Billionaires who do not care are changing our laws.
This group calls themselves the Raging Grannies. They were among the more than 100 people who attended a town hall meeting last night when Congressman Corey Mills was at the Brannan Center in New Smyrna Beach. We were banned from recording the actual event, but News 6's Ashley Garrett was inside and says things got heated at times, with the Republican getting booed over some of his answers. Mills did call on everyone to tone down the dangerous rhetoric, though. He's set to hold another town hall tonight at 5 at the Oviedo Cultural Center.
A drop in student enrollment is hitting a local school district hard. Days after voting to close an elementary school, the superintendent in Brevard County is now warning job cuts are also on the way. News 6's Mark Lehman explains what this could mean for schools.
The city of Orlando is moving ahead with changes at the Pulse nightclub site. It's a place that has become a daily stop for people still grieving and remembering the 49 people who were killed. But as the city prepares to put up construction fences and demolish this site, some say they're not ready to lose the temporary memorial that has been there for years now. Alex Cook joins us live from the site. And Alex, all these years later, it's still emotional for people who visit this site.
Absolutely. You can still feel the reverence out here as people quietly walk up and read these messages and pay their respects. I even spoke to one person today who called it sacred ground. And that's why people are worried about losing this site that's been a symbol, a rainbow-colored sign of hope and resilience here in Orlando for years, even though the city says a new permanent memorial is on the way. The city also said they will be holding a meeting for the public to fill them in on the plans for that permanent memorial. That's going to be on March 4th at 4 p.m. And you can check out their plans at pulseorlando.org or on our site, clickorlando.com, as we follow that coverage. Live in Orlando, Alex Cook, News 6.
All right, Alex, thank you. More than 100 birds found dead at a state park, and some are still ill.
Yeah, what wildlife officials are testing for and what visitors need to know, that's coming up. But first, keeping e-cigarettes and vapes out of the hands of kids. How state leaders plan to stop the dangerous trend by limiting access and advertising. That's next. Julie.
We have been seeing a warming trend that will continue into Friday, but look at our morning lows into the weekend. Sunday and Monday, we wake up in the 20s. I'll tell you how cold it will feel and who will have the chance to see a few flurries. All that's coming up.
And as we head to break, we want to invite you to check out our primetime schedule on News 6 Plus. We have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Go in depth as we answer your weather questions at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It's all tonight on News 6 Plus. Download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
All All right, we got to talk about this cold weather, because if you think it's cold now, it's only going to get a whole lot colder, Julie.
Right, we get one little brief break tomorrow. So it will get up around 70 tomorrow, but then it's over for the weekend. We're going to drop quickly. Friday night into Saturday, that's when a strong cold front moves through. It will be through our area early Saturday. We'll see some showers tomorrow evening, and for the first part of the day on Saturday, not a huge chance of rain, but again, some showers, and then you'll really notice the winds picking up Saturday afternoon, gusting at times to around 45 miles per hour behind that front. Then late Saturday into Sunday, our western counties could even potentially see a few snowflakes. Of course, we're not talking about anything that will accumulate, but we could see a little bit of wintry precipitation. The big deal, though, is that we will wake up in the 20s both Sunday and Monday. Sunday, our highs will stay only in the 40s, and we now have an extreme cold watch in place for Saturday night into Sunday afternoon, because we are talking about the potential of single-digit wind chill readings for the first part of the day on Sunday. Here's a look at our forecast lows for Sunday morning. So these are actual air temperatures. These are not forecast wind chill readings. We're expecting 24 in Sanford, 21 for your low in the Villages, 27 in Cape Canaveral, and 22 in Palm Coast. But you factor in those winds, here's how it will feel. So it really is a weekend where it's probably a good idea, if you can, to have indoor plans. It will feel like 8 degrees in Palm Coast, 11 degrees in Ocala, and 10 degrees in Leesburg. Now, of course, everyone's been excited about the potential of snow, so we'll go ahead and take you through the clouds and rain forecast. Here is Saturday at midnight. This is our front that will bring that chance of a few showers, and you can see even some lingering moisture into the first part of the day on Saturday. Strong area of high pressure cranking around this will bring our winds out of the northwest, and then you've probably heard about lake effect snow. We're talking about the potential of Gulf effect flurries as the cold air rides over the relatively warmer waters of the Gulf and then moves back over land. Notice that blue in the area of Denellen. That's where we can see a few snowflakes Saturday evening. Looking at the potential of some isolated flurries moving as far inland, now picking up near the attractions area. Looking again just at the potential of a little bit of wintry precipitation. So the model's keeping that in the picture as we head into the overnight hours Saturday into Sunday morning. So certainly a very unusual setup. Most of us will experience any flurries. We will all experience these winds. Look at wind gusts taking you into Sunday morning at midnight, 37 mile per hour wind gusts possible, and we will keep those winds pretty elevated into the afternoon hours on Sunday. Here's how it looks for us right now outside. Not a bad afternoon. 62 degrees on our Launch Credit Union camera out at Port Canaveral, 64 in the Villages, 64 in Mico. On average, about 5 degrees or so warmer than we were yesterday at this time. Your hour-by-hour forecast featuring Beetle, who, by the way, his dad emailed me and let me know that he's also an Indiana University graduate. The dad, not Beetle. Mid-50s at 7 o'clock, 53 degrees at 8 o'clock. Overnight lows fall to 45 tonight in Orlando, 38 in Ocala. Here is our 7-day forecast. Again, you'll see those 20s for Sunday and Monday morning, and even into the 30s for Tuesday and Wednesday morning.
Beetle might be rooting for IU as well.
I think he was.
Okay. Thanks, Julie. Don't forget to send us your weather pictures and videos. Check out this picture from Lisa in downtown Ocala. Look closely. I guess you don't even have to look closely. You see it. She said when she went out to her car this morning, she had ice all over it. She decided to share a picture with all of her friends from up north so they could get a good laugh at her here in what is usually sunny and warm Florida. You can see she wrote, "Live in Florida." Or is that live in Florida?
I think it's live.
Live in Florida.
This is a live look at Florida right now.
And Brandon shared this picture of his plants in College Park. He says, Brussels sprouts love being cold.
Really?
Hibiscus, not so okay.
I have a hibiscus. I don't think it's going to last.
No, they're hardy. And in Winter Park, I shared this picture of my thermostat yesterday morning. You can see it was 64 degrees and perfect inside my house and 37 degrees outside. I would not turn the heat on.
Now, and I will not be visiting you anytime soon.
To open your camera app, scan the QR code on your screen right now and click the link. Your cold weather pictures and videos could end up right here on TV. You can also go to clickorlando.com/pins and upload your pictures and videos that way. A concerning number of birds dying off at a popular state park.
How wildlife teams are responding and what we know so far. That's next.
Wildlife officials are investigating more than 100 reported vulture deaths at Blue Spring State Park. Leaders with Florida Fish and Wildlife tell us that they are, and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, are getting reports of 101 dead and 17 sick vultures at the state park. They're collecting samples and sending them to a lab for testing. Winter Spring City leaders say that they're also seeing several dead ducks at Torcaso Park. Now, staff immediately called FWC and Seminole County Animal Services for help. After an investigation, they found the birds were positive for bird flu. Leaders say they removed the ducks and cleaned the affected areas to prevent further impacts. They also say they're hearing about other potential outbreaks within Seminole County.
And we've recently been telling you about bird deaths in downtown Orlando. Last week, city leaders said they found several wild birds dead at Lake Davis Park. That's south of the 408 near Summerlin and Mills. Tests confirm avian flu is to blame. The lake is only about a mile south of Lake Eola, where more than a third of the swan population has died already from bird flu this year. Now to a big birthday celebration for a 101-year-old World War II veteran.
Yeah, it happened over the weekend at Disney's Magic Kingdom. Herbert Manabedge and his family watched the parade and participated in the flag retreat ceremony. Each day, the theme park chooses a visitor to serve as U.S. Armed Forces representative of the day during a sunset ceremony. He served as a private in the U.S. Army. During his time, he was hurt in battle and was later honored with the Purple Heart. Good for him. Yeah. Next, News 6 at 5 is next.
Anchor Matt Austin is in the newsroom with what's ahead.
Well, a dispute over loud music lands a guy in court and another man dead. Up next, the man accused of firing that gun appears before a judge. The response from neighbors who say it may have been justified. And after multiple school threats in less than a week, school districts in Marion County cracking down to make sure threats don't become a reality with top-of-the-line tech.